good blockbuster. It's not. It is in no way what I think people were. Do you think that's why critics maybe didn't like it? And it made money, right? It made good money, but that's because the three of these people were in it. It was not. I don't think this movie was anything what people expected.
It kind of comes back to something that we've spoken about previously on like a couple of other episodes. It's like potentially it's too close to home for Hollywood.
Yeah. Yeah.
It holds up the mirror to what goes on, and it hits a little bit close to the mark for some people. It's like Hollywood's not vapid and empty like this movie portrays it as. No, not at all.
Yeah, that's a great point. And they were this movie fires shots. It really does.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's why I like that Meryl Streep said it was kind of like a documentary. And I also think it's shot really well. And it makes me happy that Dean Cundey did it. The guy who shot Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Jurassic Park, Apollo 13, and then he was on Halloween. And he was the second unit director on Deep Rising, which makes me really happy. But this movie had Dean Cundey, Zemeckis, Meryl Streep, Goldie Hawn, Bruce Willis, the production designer by Rick Carter, like another Oscar winner who had done Jurassic Park. This guy did Force Awakens. He did Avatar and Lincoln. This is a wild crew working on this kind of this, it feels like an R-rated movie almost, but it's not. I don't know.
Yeah, it's very, but we said this previously about Zemeckis, like he tends to work with very, very good people.
Mm-hmm.
When we looked at Back to the Future, we went through the crew there and it was like, oh, well, this guy did this as well. So it's not surprising that he had these great people working with him. People obviously like to work with him.
It's a challenge, isn't it? It's like, I'm not going to sleep for a few months, but we have the potential of creating something iconic. I guess that's what you want to do, right? You're going to work hard anyway on a film set. You might as well work super hard and create something and win an Oscar or make Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, exactly.
And make bank. I wish I could have been a fly on the wall watching Meryl Streep hate every second of being in this visual effects stuff. She was not a fan of this. I don't know. I guess we haven't even talked about, what were you going to say?
No, I was just wondering if she's mellowed on it, in retrospect, but I kind of doubt it.
Yeah, because she did make those comments right after filming. She's probably forgotten about it. I mean, this is close to, 30 years ago? Yeah.
30 years ago? What year is it now? Yeah, 30 years ago.
Almost. So yeah, she's forgotten about it. She went on to River Wild and had to learn how to row. And then she was Iron Lady. I bet she doesn't remember making this movie. That was so long ago.
Yeah.
But geez whiz. But I gotta tell you, I love her performance in this because she's always on. This is an always on performance. And I think that's a lot harder than people realize. It's just she's headlined a show playing a absolutely unlikable person, but I still kind of like her. I don't know. There's something about her that I'm a fan of. She's just very unabashedly who she is. And I guess that's what I like about her.
Well, she's got, even though she hasn't done that many comedic roles, she has got great comic timing.
Oh, yeah.
And when she comes through with the acerbic wit, the little one-liners, here and there, it's just perfectly delivered. And you're just that's great, even though she's a horrible person.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. If you have to put together a burn crew, you would definitely want Meryl Streep there.
Oh, yeah.
Because she could just obliterate you. Well, who else would be good in the burn crew? John Malkovich?
John Malkovich, she's pretty good.
I would not want to get insulted by John Malkovich. I think he would just look you up and down and just say, just walk away. Tom Hanks, too, because that would be so surprising.
Well, yeah, if you've done something to annoy Tom Hanks, you must be a horrible person.
Wait, you made Tom Hanks mad? Actually? Legitimately mad? I think we got a good crew here. But yeah, her comments, and I love when Goldie comes onto the scene. The way that she just plays both. Okay, did she want Bruce Willis back? Because she's playing both of them. I think she wants to have him kill Meryl Streep and then blame the murder on him.
Yeah, I think that's her endgame. She's just playing him to get him to, do the murder and then get arrested. Your wife goes missing. Who's going to be the prime suspect there, I wonder?
Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah, she's totally going to burn him. Oh, hey, are you going to take Louis Vuitton luggage with you when you cosplay for this?
I've got a Louis Vuitton passport holder. Does that count?
Yeah, sure. You should do that. Did you notice the luggage in this movie?
No,
Yeah, Louis
I'm
Vuitton.
surprised my wife didn't. Yeah, she's always good to spot those sorts of things.
Yeah, when he is packing up towards the end, when they're trying to make him drink that gigantic glass of whiskey, I'm sorry. If anybody brings me a glass of whiskey that big, I'm not drinking it. There's something weird going on there. But yeah, he's packing up a Louis Vuitton bag.
I don't know. I'm quite fond of a large nip myself, but
A large nit?
a large nip of whiskey.
Oh, that big? You would take that?
Well, I don't know if I'd take it from them, given.
Yeah. They think he's a dummy, don't they?
Yeah.
That'd be miserable. I love it when he's about to fall to his death, and they're just yelling at him to drink the potion so he can do nothing but take care of them for the rest of their lives. It makes that fall seem not too bad, I think.
Well, I think it's a choice, right? You're like, either choose to be with them or you can just choose to accept death, which is what he ended up doing.
Man, they gotta feel bad about that. Now, another thing. When they drink this tonic, this magic potion, they're supposed to fake their death or disappear. Like,
Yeah.
okay, how do you get your money? How do you get a house? Does she, as part of the package, does she give you a passport? Because I don't think she sets them up with anything.
I'm sure there are logistics that haven't really been thought through in the script.
Yeah.
I assume there are a complicated network of shell companies and offshore accounts, etc., where money can be funneled.
As part of the Immortal Inc.
Well, I would say you don't actually see what happens. Like when someone makes a deal, it might be different for everyone. For example, when Elvis did it, he might have had to sign over 50% of his royalties to her.
Yeah.
In order for it to be funneled back to him later. For example, you could set up this kind of company that would own, the rights, and then you would just be taking your paycheck that way.
I want to see a movie about an investigator trying to hunt down Rossellini and her operation in this by finding shell accounts in Switzerland. Just make it
Who would you have play that though? Who could be the investigator?
Oh gosh. Okay, so you're hunting down this line of immortals. So one year you saw James Dean, Marilyn Monroe, and Elvis going to a place, which seems quite risky to have them go there every spring. But I guess they got to get out of their houses. But Elvis is always going out and causing a stir. So you need to have, so an investigative reporter, but it also needs to be, is it still the heightened atmosphere of this, or is this more like a grounded David Fincher movie?
Oh, I don't know. I'd say maybe if you're setting it in the same universe, we got to go for, a similar atmosphere. So a bit more heightened, a bit more on edge.
Okay, so someone who can play heightened. I mean, Anne Hathaway is good at being cheeky.
She is.
She could really sell that.
The one that's coming to mind for me, actually, when I was describing it is, you just take Christian Slater's character from Interview with the Vampire.
Yes! Do that! Because he's already investigating paranormal activities.
Yeah.
All right, sold. I like that. That's a good one. Slater. And he could be cheeky. I mean, he was in, True Romance. And Hard Rain, he's super cheeky in, too. Like, he gets it. Man, taxes become her. Death and taxes. Oh, there it is. We got there. Death and taxes. Christian Slater.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Just hunting down Rossellini and her multiple accounts.
Massive network of supposedly dead celebrities who are not so dead. This
is a legit conspiracy crew, though. This is almost Illuminati.
Yeah.
Because there has to be secret beaches or islands. Because Marilyn Monroe, I mean, I guess you could get a job as a lookalike.
Yeah.
I would suppose. But I don't know if you'd want to live eternity being a lookalike to Marilyn Monroe.
Well, I guess you can dye your hair. You can not wear makeup. It's amazing how easy it is to dress down, especially if you're out of the public eye for a while.
Yeah, that's true.
And especially when people think you're dead.
Yeah. You would just get a lot of, you know who you look like?
And you're like, oh, yeah, I've heard that a lot.
Yeah. Let me guess. And then you say the complete wrong thing and make people laugh, and then you walk away.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I guess. All right, so how about this? Let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, we will talk more. Death becomes her. We will be right back. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. And I love that at the end, when Rossellini puts the drop of potion on Bruce Willis's hand to get them steady again, that he's able to throw the knife into the light switch. So I think that's what the dartboard signified earlier. He was trying to throw scalpels at the dartboard with a steady hand, but he didn't have it anymore, so he kept missing. So that's a nice Chekhov's dartboard / knife throwing gag in this film.
Yeah, I didn't notice that at all. It's not. It makes perfect sense, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean that's good script writing right there. I mean, David Koepp wrote this. I don't know, like, if you know much about Koepp.
No, I haven't. I don't know of anything he's written.
Yeah, he wrote Jurassic Park. He wrote Secret Window. He's been on, let's see, I mean, Jurassic Park 3, which everyone loves.
That one wasn't so good.
He wrote Spider-Man, Mission Impossible. Let's see, he wrote, The Mummy 2017. He directed Premium Rush with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He wrote Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, Zathura. He did Panic Room.
There are a few not so highlights on his resume.
Toy Soldiers. He did Dark Angel, a Dolph Lundgren movie, so I'm a big fan of that. Toy Soldiers, Carlito's Way, The Shadow. These have been writing for a long time, and he said when he first wrote this film, he and Martin Donovan, that it was much smaller, just a tiny movie about vapid people finding a potion and trying to survive in their LA home. But then Zemeckis got a hold of it, and then that's what this movie became. So he did get credit as a scriptwriter. It's just it blew up times 1,000 once Zemeckis joined it. That'd be kind of interesting, right? You write this intimate script, and then it becomes a blockbuster film, and into that. But yeah, that's one of his first movies after Toy Soldiers. This is one thing that got him a ton of recognition right here, David Koepp, was this screenplay for Death Becomes Her, which I kind of like.
I don't know, it definitely wouldn't have been the same movie without Zemeckis' involvement. But I don't know if it would have even been interesting as, a smaller piece with people just trying to survive in their little boring lives.
Mm-hmm. This is much.
I think it needed the loudness and the over the top setting and the full on craziness and zaniness that was brought into it.
I think what initially turned people off of this movie is what made it a cult classic. It has so much personality to it. I mean, I love watching Meryl Streep say, like, I'm looking at my ass. And, like, just the scene in the hospital where the doctor's breaking her hand and she goes and grabs a larger stuff. Oh, what's up?
That doesn't hurt at all? No? It's like...
Yeah. This keeps cracking it and then grabs a larger stethoscope and then he dies and then she passes out and you're like, where is she? She's in the morgue. And you're like, she's going to be so pissed. I love that line.
Yeah.
And I also love the production design in this movie. When they go to the hospital, it's really pastel. And when she goes, for meetings later on, there's this really interesting, outside in LA, there's just a lot of pastel. There's a lot of bright colors in this. And then I like when they retreat to their mansion, how depressing it is. It's kind of cool how they've acquired all this wealth, but both of their rooms just like incredibly junky. It's a gigantic house, but it almost feels claustrophobic. Like there's nothing happy about it. But then you go out into the real world, LA, I don't know if that's the real world, but it's just a lot more brightly lit and pastel. I think it creates a neat contrast between
the house is just really, it's like something out of the Addams Family or like a Tim Burton movie almost. Like it's very dark and gothic almost.
Mm-hmm. And so how did they afford that? So she was a mid-tier actress, correct? And he actually was a really good doctor until he lost his hand. So does he get paid really well to be a mortician?
I wouldn't think so, but you never know. If you're a mortician to rich people, I guess, maybe.
I guess you can keep things quiet. So he had to go when that guy was in the jacuzzi and died. And then he makes him look pretty. And I like when he told the woman about how he makes corpses look better. She's just mortified and walks away with how he does it. So he's still an artist. It's just a weird art, I think.
Yeah, I think he still takes pride in being good at what he does, but it's not quite what he used to do.
How bummed were you that it wasn't Kurt Russell as Elvis?
That would have been funny.
Oh, man. Because, he was in Elvis, and then he dressed up as Elvis in 3,000 Miles of Graceland, and when he was a kid, he was with Elvis. And I think he danced to Elvis. Oh, sorry, go for it.
Yeah, it would have been really cool. And it might have just been a scheduling thing, because